Presented by Wearable Fandom. Welcome to Wear Mighty Things, episode 38. We are live here on August 14th. This is a podcast all about the Roosevelt's brand and community. Fandom, fashion, friends is what we are all about here. And if you're into that, well, then you've come to the right place. To receive all of our latest updates and comments, please subscribe and ring the bell to get all the notifications on content as it releases. Obviously, I am not Dustin. I am Ron DePody. Dustin's out traversing the world, and I've been tagged in once again to steer the ship. And if we're talking about steering the ship, then I got to bring in my man, the co-host, cruise director himself, John Madigan. John, what's up, my friend?
Ron, thank you so much, man. I was just rushing. I don't know if you said I was just off camera. I got a call from my mom, like literally right before we went on the air, and I'm like, all right, wait, let me just figure out what this is first. I'm like, and then I'm just like, let's figure this out. So
it is all good, brother.
So I'm glad, I made did my best to absolutely make sure get on here. But Ron, so good to see you, my friend. So glad you can fill in for Dustin while he's out gallivanting the world and being the world traveler, the fandom traveler that he is. So always glad to talk to you. I think you're slightly more handsome, so I like looking at your face a little bit more, truthfully. So I'm definitely not complaining about the change.
I'll take it. I'll take the compliments where I can get them. Thank you, and thanks for tagging me in and having me here. I mean, it's a pleasure to have you guys. It's an honor for you to be tagged in by you guys again, and especially at this time to be doing the show with you. It's a lot of fun. I think we're gonna have a good time tonight.
I think we're gonna have a great time, my friend. But I think first, what are you wearing, my friend?
Oh yes, I mean it's the way we always start the show, right? And I'm actually I'm representing the Dub Club tonight, busting out the 2X sizing shirt from the Denver Fan Expo. I won the role while it was we had Fan Expo here in Denver, and was able to walk away with one of these limited beauties. And then the cap, I've got the Reading Fighting Phils from their hot dog night, and that represents my boys over there in Camp Hope. And we got a lot of fun communities here around Roosevelt's, and I'm in between sizes, so I get to kind of traverse between groups and sizes, which has actually been a lot of fun. So what are you wearing, my man?
So before we get into that, real quick, so when you won your sizing shirt, exactly how is that process done? You said you won your role, so is it
everybody gets to decide what size shirt they're going to be in on, and then they have one of the like D&D type dice that has 18 or 26 sides or whatever, and they have everybody roll and for a particular size, and whoever has the highest number for that size gets it. I was fortunate enough, I was only rolling against Dan Delaney, and if I recall right, I only rolled a 7 at first, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose this. It's here it is in Denver, like I should get this shirt. And then Dan ended up rolling a 4. So ended up walking away with it. I was very thankful, very grateful. And I don't, aside for something like this, I don't know when or where you wear this. I think it's funny. My wife got a kick out of it when she saw me wearing around my size. But I think it's cool that they do it. It's a little memento of the con and being there, and something special that they do. So I was grateful for it.
Oh, well, that's awesome, Rod. I'm so glad that you won. I'm always glad to see when it goes to a deserving insider, man. I am wearing the Hoboken Meetup shirt. We're so we're wearing the Hoboken Meetup shirt and the Hiya Pal hat. I figured talking about ships today, so I figured I'd wear a shirt that's got a ship on it, or a boat, or Anthony.
We're gonna get into that debate already, huh?
Little bit. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing today, man.
Well, you look great really as always, man. I'm digging it.
Thank you, man. At least someone thinks I look good. Yeah, man. But how was your day today?
It's great. A lot of people know I'm on the mend. I had knee replacement surgery 2 weeks ago today. So I've been home recuperating and going through PT from that. So today was kind of a easy, relaxing day. I did some PT in person yesterday, and then just some exercises today. And I'm ahead of pace and ahead of schedule from kind of where they thought I would be at flexibility wise. So it's a good thing. It's things are going in the right direction, and luckily with how everything's going, next week I'll be able to go back to working from home for the time being, which will combat the boredom. I'm not somebody who likes to sit around and just Netflix all day, but that's been kind of my 2 weeks is catching up on shows that I hadn't fully gotten through yet. So, how about you?
Oh man, I believe it, man. I'm sure that can be. I mean, like I hear that, and I'm kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't mind, being able to stay at home, waking up whenever I want, and just kind of doing whatever I want to do, for a while. I mean, I know you're in a lot of pain, and I mean that part, is definitely
Well,
not
luckily
fun.
they give me the happy drugs, so
Ooh, they give you the good stuff.
exactly. So whenever it starts to get that direction, it's just like, all right, I look over at the wife and time for another round.
Time for another round. Oh dear God. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Be careful with those, man. I know a lot of people on those, men, and some of them like them a little too much. So definitely definitely be careful with that, my friend. Um, Obviously, Dustin is in Amsterdam right now. He is out. Uh, Brian, I stretched before this episode. I'm ready.
Way to go,
Okay,
Brian.
wait. Good job, Brian, man.
I love it.
But yeah, obviously Dustin is out in Amsterdam right now. He couldn't make it. He's too busy having fun over there. He likes to go to Amsterdam a lot. He's been
I
there
I
quite a
don't know
few times.
why. I mean, what would the call be to go to
I don't know. What do they have in Amsterdam? What's legal in
man?
Amsterdam?
It's
What
some
what what can you do
what
in
kind of
Amsterdam?
debauchery can you get into? Trouble?
He
I
likes
don't
to
know,
go
man.
there. I really don't see pictures from him while he's in Amsterdam. He doesn't really post a lot about what he's doing over there. He just tends to just kind of go over there, hang out for a little bit. Bionic
Nice.
Ron and his Happy Pills sounds like a band. That sounds like a band name.
Nice. Maybe some sort of cosplay in the red light district that he's
There might be something
following
going
it
on over
for
there.
Fandom Traveler or something. I
He
don't know.
he.
I hope he's
Is it?
having a good time. I'm sure he is.
Oh, I mean, if he's over there, I'm sure he's having a great time.
Well, let's get into some of what's been going on around the world and some current event kind of stuff. First, I'll actually hit up Boston. Was last weekend. I didn't go, but I was watching kind of some of the things that were going on and happening. Um, I, John, I don't think I know you were close, but I don't think you were out there. What did you see? What did you hear coming out of Boston?
I was not over there. I love the floral. I must say, I did like the colors on the floral, the
The
Duncan
Duncan
floral.
Floral, yeah.
Duncan Floral, that was the winner for me. I would have definitely liked one of those. Boston looked like one hell of a time. I think one thing to note was they did the buy one get one free on the pins,
Yeah.
which is the first time that we've seen Roosevelt's do that. So definitely wonder what that was about. Like, do they have new things coming out and they're just trying to get rid of the old stock?
Yeah, I was wondering, that it seemed like that the series one has gone on forever at this point, and I was wondering, is this a way to kind of blow through that and get us onto some series two stuff, some new pins, new shirts, new looks, and get through that old stock. But yeah, no, I'd heard that, noticed that too. So that was rather interesting. Very fortunate for any of the guys and the pin collectors who were in Boston to land on that sale.
Yeah, so that's that was my first mindset when it came to that. But I'm really glad for everybody that did get to go there. I definitely wish I could have been there. It looked like so much fun, especially with the Paging Mr. Morrow meetup. Oh, hello, Ariane. That is 100% what was happening with the pins. Okay, so it sounds like she got some inside
Oh,
info
yeah.
while she's over there. Um, yeah. So yeah, series one definitely has been going on for a while. So all that means is that we have some exciting new stuff coming. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. What has been your favorite pin from series one? Do you have, like, how many do you have? Do you have
I
any?
I haven't been a big pin collector. I've got a handful. Most have been sent to me from other insiders and care packages and things like that. I was, I mean, probably the favorite one that I've gotten so far was our man Gabe hooked me up with the cheeseburger in paradise. And being that in some of the avenues around the Roosevelt's world, I'm known as the commander in beef. It seemed like a very fitting to go with the burger experience. So I'm very happy to have that one added to the collection. I will say here in Denver, my oldest son Joel got lucky. He bought one pin. He was super excited to be able to buy a pin on his own, and he pulled a 1 of 1 Los Angeles floral. So he was hyped about that. Like
That is
only bought,
absolutely awesome.
right, only bought one pin, and he pulls a 1 of 1. So
Wow.
that was pretty cool. So now he's hooked on the pin thing. And anytime I
yeah,
place
of
an
course.
order, now he's like, "How do I get more pins? Or who can I get pins from?"
Of course, yeah. I mean, with a rush like that, I mean,
Right?
I have not been fortunate enough to pull the 1 of 1 yet. But I imagine when you open it up and you get a rush like that, that instantly makes you want more. But
I will say the exciting thing though to me about Boston was I didn't go. I was kind of on the fence about getting any of the shirts. I thought they were good. I didn't think they were necessarily great. I was looking for somebody to hopefully grab me the lobster shirt, and then on Thursday I participated in the trivia that they do that DTH holds, and somehow I won, and so I will be getting all
oh my
three
god!
exclusives. Yeah,
Oh my god!
it was a fight down to the bitter end between me and Brian Davies, but we were I think within like two at the halfway point, and just kind of went on a roll, and somehow ended up coming out in front of him, and DTH will be sending me all three of the con exclusives. So felt very fortunate in that. I did think it was funny though. It was one of those cons that like I wasn't sold on any of the shirts, and that's the one that I win. And usually I'm kind of middle of the pack on the trivia stuff, but it's really cool, and I'm glad that they do that for people who don't get to go to the cons. That you have an opportunity to maybe win or be able to get get some of the shirts without having to pay the extraordinary prices that you can get sometimes out of cons.
Of course. Well, congratulations on winning. That's absolutely awesome. I'm so happy for you. Always glad to see good insiders win. I am definitely hoping that one day I can win HQ trivia myself. I forget what I was doing that night. I missed that trivia for some reason. I don't
And
know
it was a
why.
much smaller group. I think they kind of set it up later than they normally do. So I don't know that a lot of people even realized. And where it's usually like 50 or so people, it was only like 20, 25 maybe.
Really?
So
Wow.
yeah, so the odds were definitely tipped better in our favor than a lot of times, but I still wasn't quite expecting it. And I'll tell you the key to the victory might have been they had a large slew of questions on fast food restaurants, and being a former 3X now 2X bigger guy, I like my cheeseburgers, I like my fast food restaurants, so definitely hit a point where we were nailing the answers.
Now, what do you think is the most overrated fast food restaurant? What's the most underrated?
I mean, I'll get shot for this. I'm sure. I am not an In-N-Out fan. I
Okay.
and I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm saying that hype wise, I don't feel like it meets what the expectation is going in that first time you hear all this like, oh, it's the best burger ever, and it's a good burger. It's a really good burger. The fries are subpar. Um, the wait, like to wait 30 minutes in line or whatever, like whenever you go, like it's to me, it's not worth that. I'll give them that they're cheap, which is nice, but I am not at all an In-N-Out fan. And luckily Ariane is with me
Mm.
on
I
that.
no, I agree. No, I absolutely agree. I think In-N-Out's very overrated. When I went to Vegas a couple of years ago, um, just for a couple of days, and on my list, because I'm not really over on that side, a lot. On my list was definitely go check out In-N-Out, go see what that's about.
Yeah, yeah.
And took the Uber ride over just to go try it, and I was not. Uh, that was I tried it, and maybe it's just being like I live in New York City, and I feel like I'm very blessed with what kind of food we have here.
Yeah.
So like you don't find me at chain restaurants very frequently. Anything I want to get, I can get from a pretty good local
Well,
place.
that's always the hard one for me. And I've been in Colorado since '98, and we're kind of a melting pot for the country. Like we get a lot of like everything out here, and I've become a big fan. Like if I have to pick a fast food place, I go to Culver's now, which is out of Wisconsin, and and the Midwest, and I love their butter burgers, and I love their cheese curds, and I love the variety of stuff that they have.
What in
But
the world
I'm
is a
like you.
butterburger?
So I mean, they when they grill their burger, they throw down a pad of butter first that they like grill the burger on and like press into it, and I mean, it melts in your mouth kind of thing. It's great. I love it. They're pretty cheap. You know, I just love burgers in general, but I'm like you. I grew up in Western New York, and there's so many smaller restaurants and non-chains, at least while I was growing up. So when I think of a good burger place, it's not anywhere that anybody else knows, unless you're from the Rochester area. And my
Sure, of
favorite burger
course.
place was a place called Shaler's, which was, old school drive up, you know, you get a sack of grease pretty much, kind of thing. And I miss that. And anytime I go home, I've got to have it. But when it comes to the fast food places, I mean, none of them really, ignite my passion. So, but it's the same way. Like, I mean, being from out there, you asked me what a good pizza place is, and I'm hard pressed around here. And like, I'm not gonna send you to any of these Domino's or Little Caesars or anything like that. We've got a place called Big Bill's New York Pizza. The guy actually grew up in the Syracuse area. He's a New Yorker, and he's got one shop here in the Littleton area and in the South Metro area of Denver, and it's the best New York pizza, or at least the closest to a real New York pizza that I've been able to find out here. So if I'm looking for if somebody wants a good pizza, I'm going to send them there, and it's expensive. You're talking $36 for a medium or large pie, but I'd much rather pay that and get my, and I'm easy. You give me plain pepperoni and cheese, just on that nice, crispy, New York style crust. I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's so funny. It reminds me when you say that, and I won't out the insider, but I was at one of the conventions somewhere around the world, and an insider had asked me to go with them to what they consider to be their favorite pizza place, and they're like, "Oh, this place is so good, it's the best." And I'm like, being from New York City, when you tell me that you're going to show me good pizza, you know, um, I'm ready,
Right?
and I went, and honestly and truly, I couldn't finish it. I was appalled. I was like, I wasn't mean. Like I think I just made up some sort of excuse, but I was like, I felt like I was eating like 7-Eleven pizza, and
Right?
I was like, this is where you want, like, this is okay,
Well,
okay, this is what you think good pizza is, huh? Huh, have you been to New York? Really? No. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. Okay.
well,
Yeah.
when we get you out to Denver, I'll take you over to Big Bill's, and we'll see what your take is, and if it passes. Especially I mean, you're from real New York, and that's one of the funny things is, I grew up in Western New York. You tell people you're from New York, and they assume you're from the city. They don't realize that like there's this whole other part of the state that is not New York City,
Of course. Yeah.
and
No.
it's
New York
such a
State's
different
this
culture,
huge thing. New York City's this tiny little part in the bottom.
right? And everybody
Yeah.
just assumes, but I love home. I love where I'm from. I still miss New York foods. And I try to find little spots around here that may not be the same, but at least they're close and give me a little hint of home. So next time you're out here, when we get you out to Denver, we'll take you around and see what your take is on, and see if they get a passing grade from you.
Definitely sounds like a plan. Definitely sounds like a plan, Ron. Definitely want to do that with you for sure.
Sounds good. Well, speaking about getting around and getting out, you have been knee deep in the planning stages of the epic second Insiders Cruise, and I thought this is a good time. Let's get some updates, man. How are things looking in the planning of the cruise? How are people responding? What's the deal, man?
I love the little banner you just put up, man. Thank you. I love that. So first of all, things are going way better than I could ever imagine they would be. I'm like stumbling over my words. I don't know why. Um, I noticed that. I'm like, why the fuck am I talking like that? What's wrong with me? No. So I was very hesitant to do the second one because I wasn't sure, like, would lightning strike twice? The first one was so successful and so awesome. but would people come back? And people are coming back. And I'm really happy to say, at the time of this, um, so far, oh, thank you, Anthony. Can't wait to see you on the boat, buddy. Can't wait. Me and you on the boat. We got this. Really happy to say at the time of me saying this, we have 77 insiders booked and paid. That is 77 insiders with money down. Not just people who filled out the form and they want to go or they're going to pay on this day or that day. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I love you too, buddy. um, I definitely, I need a captain's hat this time. I regret not getting a captain's hat for the first time. I'm gonna find a captain's hat. I'll get my name like embroidered on it, or maybe like I'll tie dye it or something. I don't know. We'll do something like crazy and funky with it. But I want a captain's hat this time. But yeah, 77 insiders booked and paid. And there's definitely a lot more. I've been talking with a lot more people who are, they're going to pay on this day. I really think we're going to crush last year's record, and it's going to be, it's really an exciting time on the world's second largest cruise ship, Utopia of the Seas. Oh shit, you brought it up.
But yeah, I wanted to make sure people saw that, you've got the Insiders Cruise page up and going. You've got the event. There's lots of good information here. There's the booking link for people to get information about, what it'll cost and whatnot. And I mean, I guess, the big thing and some good news and something I'm happy to share with everybody is that you talked me into it. And my wife Megan and I will be. I have never been on a cruise. She was when she was like, freshman in high school kind of age. Her family just, they were looking for a cheap trip for like a spring break and went on a cruise. And her big thing was, she was like 14, 15 at the time. And she got to play bingo and won like $600 in singles from the bingo room that day. So she still brags about that. So she's at least kind of experienced it and knows a little bit about what we're getting ourselves into, but I've never done it. And, having conversations with you, seeing how other people felt about the last time around, and the fact that it takes place 2 weeks after my birthday, I couldn't resist, and I'll be out there on the seven seas with you.
Well, I'm so glad to be the first time for you, and I know you said that your wife that she's done it before, but frankly, from when she's done it to now, things have changed so much in the entire cruise industry that it's really kind of like a first time for both of you. Just truth be told, everything that she went through and the things that she experienced and whatnot from that long ago, everything has been changed and redesigned. We are going on an entirely brand new ship too. That is the biggest selling point for this ship. Last time we went on a ship that was about 25 years old, and look, it was still great, and it was clean, and it was awesome, and I really didn't complain about it, but it didn't have all the bells and whistles and stuff that you see like in the commercials. We are going on a brand spanking new ship, Utopia of the Seas. It is huge. Anthony knows. Anthony's been on Utopia. He absolutely knows that this is a killer ship. I have not been on Utopia itself, but I've been on other ships its size, a bit like in the same class. So I have a rough idea of what we're getting into, but this one is super brand new and really nice. And I think just everyone's going to have an absolutely amazing time. I'm so glad we have as many people as we have going right now. And I just know we're going to get so much more. DMs are happening every day. Bookings are happening every day now. And it's just we're going to crush it. There's going to be a pre-party the night beforehand, May 14th, somewhere in the Port Canaveral area. And I'm just, if you want to come, which you really shouldn't miss this, it's going to be a huge event. Definitely go to the Insiders page, click on the events tab, and you just scroll down, and the Roosevelt's Cruise is right there. It is going to be a cruise that you don't want to miss, and I really, I think everyone should be there. And Ron, I really hope you have a great time, and I'm really looking forward.
I'm looking forward to it, and not even just for the cruise aspect. I'm seeing a lot of the names of insiders that are joining up and going, and a lot of them are people like if I had to create a bucket list of like I need to meet so and so and so and so. A lot of them are people who are on that list. So I'm excited to be able to finally rub elbows face to face, person to person with a lot of these, including yourself. And you're one of those people who are high on that list of I can't wait to be in person with, to give a hug to share the same space and to just have a good time. And that's what this whole community and all this is about. And so the fact that we have this, that it was so successful last year and so many people are already behind it this year. Like I'm I'm pumped on it just on that aspect. So, thanks for doing it. Thanks for all that. I know you're putting a ton into it. Thank you for all the legwork that you're doing, and thanks for helping convince me that this is the thing to do, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too, man. And I'm really glad that you and your wife are joining us. And we're gonna have a great party, my friend. It's gonna be a weekend that you will never forget.
I will tell you though, I mean, already, like, we talked about it a few days ago, and then when I was signing up, I'm already like almost a little overwhelmed. Like I'm in the chat group now, and there's so many like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna rent this location and whatnot? That there's so much stuff, and it's amazing to me, like, just how much is how much is available, like what offerings there are. So I mean, you can pay to just get on the ship, and do the basics, or there is a lot more that you can jump in and do and have some other experiences. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody's plans are and who's doing what, and jumping into some of those, to some of the private beach areas and some of the dining experiences and whatnot. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm pumped. I mean, it's what, 6 months away, 8 months away, and I'm already like, I got the goosebumps. I'm ready to go.
I love to hear that, man, and I'm really glad to hear you say that. And it's going to be a time to remember. You can definitely come on the ship and not even spend an extra dime and still have a killer time. There is so much to do and so much included with your cruise fare, that you really don't have to spend anything extra, and you can still have an amazing time with so many of your favorite insiders. So, but yeah, there is so much to do. There's a lot of extras, a lot of things to do, and it's yep. Daniel Perez he's so stoked. Daniel texts me all the time about the cruise, and so I'm really glad that he's coming back. He was definitely on the first one. Yep.
Ariane says she can't wait to meet me. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm definitely there. There are so many insiders and friends of the podcast and whatnot that I've associated with now for years, that like it to be able to get in person is the big thing for me, and to do an event like this where there's going to be so many kind of all in one, and I know that you guys got Steve's mom last time around, and hopefully we're getting her again. Sounds like your mom's going to be on the ship, and I can't wait to meet your mom. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I mean, well, so first of all, I'm really excited. So Ariane's obviously my best friend, and I'm really glad that she's coming on the ship. This time, she surprised me last year at the pre-party, and that was just such an epic surprise. I literally had no clue that she was coming down just for that. So I'm really glad that she's coming on the ship. So on the boat. I'm sorry, Anthony, I keep getting it wrong. I'm really glad that she's coming on the boat.
We're gonna start that debate now, right? Whether it's a ship, a boat.
I think Ariane said it's a vessel.
Who said it's a vessel in the comments? Yeah.
But no, really glad that she's coming. And I'm also really happy to confirm that Steve's mom and the rest of his family are all coming on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
They are actually already booked. So they are already there. Yeah. So I'm really glad that I'm really glad that they're coming back. It really means a lot to me that they're coming back. And yeah, there's so many amazing insiders coming on the ship. So, and that's part of it, being able to have that time over the course of 3 days to just meet and talk and have these amazing experiences with all these people that you've been talking to online for so long is really one of a kind, and not something that you're going to find at pretty much any other unofficial meetup that's happening.
Yeah. Well, and I know last year, I mean, you guys pulled together a lot. Like, you had a trivia night, and I mean, you guys created some actual events and stuff. I don't know what you've already got cooking, if you've got anything that you can spill the beans on, or anything that's in mind. But I mean, there were some really cool things that you guys did last year, and I'm sure that people are hoping that things like that happen this time. Anything that else that you can spill at this point, or anything that you've got kind of working that might be able to help us cultivate some more insiders onto the ship?
There's definitely going to be some sort of private event of some sorts, just like last year when we did the Roosevelt's trivia, and we had people like Paging Miss Tomorrow and Ryan from the For the Love of Theme Parks, and Pizza Beard Party and Scotty and stuff. We had all those guys come on and help us do trivia. And so I don't know if it's exactly going to be trivia this time, but we're definitely going to be renting out some sort of space on the ship and going to be doing some sort of pretty cool private personal event for the insiders. As to what that's going to be yet, I have a couple of different ideas and whatnot. I'm just weighing out my options, and part of that also is just seeing how many people we get on board. I think those plans are going to finalize in a few more months when we can get really more of a rough idea as to how many people are actually going to be there. Right now we're getting bookings every day, so that number just keeps going up, and that really determines what space I can rent on the ship.
Yeah.
And what I have to prepare for, what's easiest to set up. So, while I definitely have a bunch of ideas in the head as to what exactly is going to be, we'll see. But will there be something that we're doing special for the insiders? Absolutely. In terms of, I know we did the Captain Steve pin last year. And listen, all I can say is, there's nobody more than me that wants an exclusive on the ship, whether that be a shirt, a pin, a patch, anything. You know what I mean? But in order to do that, they need to see the bookings and they need to see the hype. So the more people that book and the more people that we can say, hey, I have X amount of people coming on the ship. What can you do for me? So we will definitely be talking to the right people.
Nice. And that's awesome. I mean, and people need to know too, like, if you sign up now, you can put your deposit down and you have until March to pay everything off and be fully booked at that point. So, we're a ways out. You've got time, but if you're really interested and you really, can make those dates work, there's no time like the present to sign up and make sure that people know that you're going to be on that ship. And that's only going to help kind of build this even further and get that hype going and whatnot. And then you can kind of take care of the rest of it for, you've got, 6 months at this point to be able to get it all, paid off and figured out and whatnot from there. So
100%. I love that Captain Steve design so much. I don't know if you saw the last episode.
Brian wants the Captain John pin. That'd be epic.
Captain John pin. No, absolutely not. No, I don't. No, that's no. I don't know if you saw the last episode, but Aaron and I, we went to go visit John Kilcane in Long Island, and I got it tattooed on me.
That's awesome. Well, that was a Forrest design, right? That was Forrest.
Yes, Forrest designed it, and John Kilcane's actually inked it on me. So much love to both of them. It's kind of cool. One designed it, one inked it on, and so
I love that. Captain John eye patch is what Brian.
No, Captain John. No, I would never. I'll get this out of the way right now. I don't want that. The cruise. Look, I might be spearheading it, but it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me. I'm just the face. I'm just the guy running it.
You're the guy who's crazy enough to bring the dream to fruition. I mean, this is most people would have thought of this and been like, it is way too big to actually make it happen. And you were the one guy who was like, the hell with that. We're making this happen.
I'm insane. I'll vouch for that. But yeah, no, I don't want a captain. I would never advocate for that. No, I would want something that's more meaningful to the. How many insiders want a pin or a patch or something that has to do with me? I imagine that number is very small. Okay, let's be real here. Okay, that seems a little like no, I'm not into that. No. Anything that happens, I want it to be more with the overall experience of the cruise and the ship and all the events going on, and not to do with me. So
I totally hear you. Yeah. Well, and one thing I'm hoping, and I haven't heard, because he's out traversing the world on us right now and enjoying the red light district. Is our boy Dustin going to be on the cruise? Have you heard? Is he planning on being there? Are we going to get some fandom traveler action up on the ship?
Told me maybe.
All right.
Dustin, come on, buddy.
We need the all-out press, the full press, full court press right now. Make sure he gets put on that boat with us.
I'm with you. I mean, I think Dustin as my co-host, should be there. But he was actually talking to me. There's another event going on the weekend beforehand that he wants to go to and doesn't know if he can make both. So,
well, the good thing is we know that if you get on that ship and Dustin leaves you high and dry, we'll be able to do a pod from the ship because your co-pilot's going to be, your backup's going to be there for you, man.
Right. Well, so Dustin found out. Believe it or not, I'm sure you've watched Step Brothers before, right?
Oh yeah.
So at the end of Step Brothers, they go to the Catalina wine mixer.
Oh yeah.
But Dustin found out that's a real event.
It's a real thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real thing. I didn't know this. I didn't know it was a real event. I think that's awesome. But apparently, it's the weekend before or the weekend after the cruise, and he wants to go to that, and he doesn't know if he can make both work. And look, I get it's the Catalina fucking wine mixer,
Yeah.
but buddy, it's not like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are going to be there singing for you and playing the drums. Like,
Well, that would be epic, though.
it would be epic. It would be epic. But you know what's more epic? Hanging out with 200 of your friends on a cruise ship. And that's just my opinion. So listen, if you want Dustin there, I suggest you blow up his DMs and just tell him, hey, stop gallivanting in Amsterdam, get your ass on Utopia. That's all I'm saying. So Dustin, you heard the people, so you better come on.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully, I mean, we got time. We can get the pressure on, and between you and I and the rest of the crew, hopefully, worst case, we, fly out to California, kidnap him, tie him up, throw him on the boat. we can make this happen. We got California insiders who are going to be on that ship.
I'm pretty sure in Amsterdam right now, Dustin, something to do with tying up. I think he told me.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It won't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time. I forget if he was doing the tying or if I forget which way that went. Something happened. Something, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Sounds good.
But if you want Dustin on the cruise, be sure to let him know.
That's awesome. So before we move on, anything else you want to say about the cruise? Any other information? Any other plugs that you want to
look, it's a $200 deposit to reserve your room for 2 people. If you're interested, send me a message. I'm happy to get you out all the pricing and the booking sheet. Discounted rooms are going really fast. I was able to get discounted rooms for insiders. They're going extremely fast. I am running dangerously low. If you've been thinking about coming on the ship, send me a message or click on the link in the event page and I will get you your reservation because you definitely want to sign up for this. You want to sign up for it now that we have more time to pay it off. The earlier you sign up, the earlier you can get this done and paid off. And the earlier you sign up, then you can make your plans and your arrangements to get here. So make it happen. I hope to see everyone there.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. I'm sure, and I'm definitely pumped and looking forward to it. And again, thank you for you and I had a good conversation. Help talk me into it, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So thanks.
Yeah, you got it, man.
We'll move along here. I know at this point there's been a lot that has happened in the shirt world since you guys last met, and we're gonna start going through all these drops that have happened over the last week, and we're gonna start with this Tiger Style, and it's part of the Classic Comfort collection that came out at the end of last week. I think probably just after you guys had been on, and you've got the joggers and the sweatshirt, and people are going crazy over this. John, where do you stand?
This looks absolutely killer. This is a John thing all the way. I love this. I absolutely love this. I'm all for it. I didn't buy it, but literally only because I was waiting to hear from others as to how the pants felt, because obviously this is the first of their kind. I know they had the thing one at the convention, but I had, I was waiting to hear from friends like, oh, how's the sizing on the pants? This is a new thing, so I didn't want to just go and order it, but it looks absolutely killer. I love this. I hope we get a lot more designs with this. I would love to get a whole Doors one, honestly. I think that would be amazing. If we got a Doors tux like that, that would be my one. Or the New York Comic Con mosh. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I would love to see that as well. I mean, this is a drop zone. I mean, so never say never. But I am all for this. Ron, do you? I mean, you're definitely a stylish guy yourself. I mean, is this
Yeah,
something that you can picture yourself wearing?
I mean, I have just come around recently to the whole tux thing, and I went from like none to like I think I have 5 or 6 at this point, and I definitely like the idea. You know me, I love my matching head to toe. The big thing for me is I'm not really a sweatpants kind of guy. I even living in Colorado where it does get chilly, I very rarely am wearing long sleeves. First of all, the weather out here is way better than most people think. So there's not really as much of a need as often as people think for the long sleeves.
Sure.
But it's just never been kind of my flow or style. I'll tell you, my oldest son Joel, he's all about wearing hoodies nonstop. It can be, well, I mean, seriously, right now it is 90 degrees outside, and he still could be wearing a hoodie.
My
Um,
God.
right, and like so. And he, yes, the hockey player in him, I think, everywhere he goes, he thinks it's an ice rink, and has to, bust out his hoodies. Um, I, it's not my thing, but I love the look of this, and I'm all for it for the people who are into this and will rock them. I love the pictures that I've seen already. I've seen several insiders; they've been getting them the last couple days, and seeing guys like Austin and Forrest rocking them. I think it's a real good look for people who like that. Just not my thing.
Hey, look, and look, hey, look. Everyone is, everyone's entitled to their own thing, um, and that's totally cool and fair. And I think it's I definitely respect, where you live and stuff. You may not get much use out of it. Um, look, it can get pretty cold over here in New York. It gets warm over here in New York right now. Like honestly, right now, like I hate that I don't have the air conditioner on right now because I did it to isolate the noise. But I mean, I really I I I really like this. I can definitely picture myself in the winter area, definitely wearing either this or some of the other designs that are coming out because this isn't going to be the only one.
Oh yeah,
I think
this is definitely the beginning of that. And I mean, we did see at the cons at San Diego Comic Con they had the thing, and they had the Chewbacca where they had the hoodies and the sweatpants and whatnot. So I mean, it's definitely something that they're going down that road pretty quickly, and I would not doubt that you start seeing some older designs come back out in these styles,
whew,
and then how else can they play up some of the cosplay aspects of what other characters can they do kind of the full
sure.
for.
What what older design would you like to see inside this? Even though it may not be something that you would purchase yourself, what design do you think could?
Well, I mean, I love that you brought up doors. I thought that one would is definitely a pretty cool concept. I think for somebody, I bet it's easier for them to do a lot of them as like some of the original concepts, and for somebody who's really into Christmas and wearing these things, and if you're gonna wear them in colder times, I would love to see them like bust out the North Pole Teddy, like the claymation, uh,
Ooh,
like something like that, head to toe. I think would be pretty slick, for around the holidays. I think that would be pretty cool, and it's one of my favorite designs, anyways. And I finally was lucky enough to get the shirt, and now like if you were to throw that up as a full sweatsuit, I'm probably all in on that.
do you remember that drop zone, that Christmas drop zone they had? It was supposed to be a short sleeve, but it was a long sleeve, and it was like a darker blue. I mean, at
Hmm.
least I think it was a darker blue because I'm colorblind. Um, that's a really nice design, and that I can picture as a nice like kind of like Christmas suit if they made that.
Yeah.
So I like the holiday idea you're thinking of. That's actually not a bad segue into our next topic.
Uh, yeah. I mean,
Or maybe I'm wrong.
I was gonna say the next thing. Well, I mean, we can't. That actually was under some of our topical banner is the spooky season stuff, and so yeah, we can skip ahead. Today's drop. Let me bring that up. Today's drop was one for
I just completely messed up Rod in case you can't.
no, you're it's all good. I was going in order of the drops, and we still had two other ones, but it's all
I
good. I
see.
will I will share this one, and today's big drop. A lot of people were excited about the character and finally getting a Winnie the Pooh drop. and it was cool. They gave us 4 Winnie the Pooh shirts, but I think the thing that kind of got a lot of people off was it's spooky season themed, and really, that the one of our topics to cover was going to be that you know it's kind of turned
Spooky
to
season
spooky
has
season
begun.
already, right?
Spooky
Like
season
all
has begun.
like all of a sudden it was like kids are going back to school and it's spooky season, and so if you look at a lot of the shirts that came out today, they're all very much Pooh with pumpkins and costumes and whatnot, which I thought were very cute. Um, I didn't buy any for myself. I did get this one for my daughter,
Oh,
because she is a huge Winnie the Pooh fan. It is one of the fandoms that she has picked up for. It was Pooh was big in our household when I was a child, and it's one of those things that we've kind of carried on into my children. And she definitely is like all about Winnie the Pooh and Pooh Corner and whatnot. So I got on there and I got her a shirt. Um, any that stood out to you? Any did you jump in on the Pooh shirts today?
well, I mean, I was definitely happy to see that we finally got a Winnie the Pooh drop. I think that's something a lot of insiders was definitely looking for. I think the winner for me is Beware, 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 which is what you have on there right
Yeah.
there, and I think that was the winner for a lot of people. I'm all for those. Those really colorful designs that stand out. I really think this is one that's going to pop when you see it in person. Those are definitely my favorite. In fact, I wouldn't mind seeing this as a full suit. Actually, I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
seeing
To
that one.
bust that one
That
out
would
as a box would be pretty cool.
now when I see these designs, it's the first thing I'm going to be thinking of. Really glad that we got ladies cuts and children's cuts as
Yeah,
well
and
with
and that
this.
was the impressive thing is that the full line had like all 4 shirts available in preschool, in youth, and in women's. I was looking through just before we got started, and there was no. There were a few women's sizes that were sold out, but things are still look pretty available. And I don't know if that's the people feeling spooky season too soon, or just not enough Pooh fandom or whatnot. Or I think the thing that I have seen over the last few drops is it feels like there's more stock, and things aren't selling out quite as quick as they had. So to me that's good to see. So not only do we have shirts of several beautiful shirts available in the men's sizes and still available, but to have them available across the female and children as well, and to have it not sell out drop zone quick every time, I thought was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad to see that there's definitely more stock going around, so that people don't have to rush as quickly, and they can take their time a little bit and be able to get everything that they want. I know that was a consistent problem in the past. So the fact that more people can get what they're looking for and be able to match with their families and maybe take a little bit more time, to figure out what they want, is so important. So good on Roosevelt's making that happen. I think as the brand grows, they realize they need to include more stock. Um, they would
Yeah,
have
right.
majorly dropped the ball without kids and women's with this drop. I agree.
Yeah,
Winnie
totally.
the Pooh is definitely one that you need to have for that for sure. So I'm really glad that they had that. But I know it's been it's not always Roosevelt's decision to not include women's or children's cuts or whatnot. There are licensing things with that, truthfully, in terms of what they're allowed to print, what they're not allowed to print. In terms of the certain types of cuts. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the truth. Believe it or not,
Yeah,
not
and
always.
I've heard that especially a lot with Disney and what's available in the parks. They don't for whatever reason they don't like to have the bigger sizes in the parks and things like that. They have a lot of control over that, and so you're right. I know a lot of people get upset and worked up over that, and a lot of times HQ just has their hands tied as to what they can produce or how many of what they can produce. Based on the contracts and what the IP provider allows them to do. So,
Sure.
but it's nice to see that they can and will do a drop like this, where there were obviously plenty available, for women and children. So
And I think the number one thing we can say to that is that if you are a person that purchases women cuts or children's cuts, when they do come out, purchase them. Actually, don't wait for a sale on BST or so. Actually purchase them, because honestly, that's the real way that Roosevelt can show these companies, not just Disney, that people want this stuff and they need more of it. So that's
Yeah.
the best thing you can do.
No, you're not wrong there. If they see things just kind of sitting around, they're not gonna go for it. They're not gonna be happy with it. So next one I'll bring up, and we'll just kind of keep moving along. Is over the weekend we got the Marvel Breakfast Balls collection, 3 shirts and a lot of head covers and ball markers and whatnot for the Avenger fans. And I will say the thing that was impressive to me is for a Sunday drop, you don't see this very often. The Stark Industries polo sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of times, the breakfast balls don't seem to sell out very often, and B, when they do the Sunday specific drops, you don't see a complete sellout very often. So, something caught everybody's eyes on this Stark Industries polo, and man, it went quickly. And the design is really, like, I love how crisp the Stark Industries logo is on it, and I love that background is all the little Iron Man helmets on it. It's a pretty sleek design. Did you jump on anything on Sunday? What do you think of this? What do you think about the breakfast balls polos? Are you a polo guy?
So I think Dustin would say this is a Dustin shirt for sure. I think if I was sitting with Dustin, I think he would definitely be sitting here saying that's a Dustin shirt.
He might have been the one that sold them out. He might have gotten multiples.
He may have gotten them all, and he plans on handing them out to everybody on the Roosevelt cruise. That might have been the plan. Who knows? Love the subtle polos. I agree, Daniel. Sometimes subtle is. I mean, I'm more of a loud guy, but I think sometimes the subtle stuff looks nice as well, for sure.
Yeah.
I am not a polo guy, and there's nothing wrong with them. I do have one or two, but I'm not. John Daly says that didn't notice the Stark Industries, and now I wish I had it.
The FOMO is real.
The FOMO is definitely real, man. John, well, press that restock button, and hopefully you find one on BST. I think the polos are nice. They're just not for me. I'd rather wear a Kunu. I don't know. They were just never. I feel like they don't look the best on me. But I think they look good on other people. So, but I find that with most things as well.
Yeah, and I've got a couple. When they first released like the Fred Flintstone, the Flop Shop Freddy, like I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Nice.
Like, right, and I thought that one was great. And then they did the High Ground, was originally the Star Wars the High Ground from Revenge of the Sith with Anakin burning in the lava. Originally that was released as just a polo, and they have since released it as a Kunu, which now I keep telling myself I don't need to spend another $70 to get the Kunu, because I have the polo. But at some point I will probably go back, because like you, it's funny. 5 or 10 years ago, if you had asked me button down to polo, I was a Nike polo, like it's what I wore to work all the time. Nike and various teams that I have fandoms for or affiliate myself with or whatever. But once I found Roosevelt's in the button down game, like I've become a much more a fan of the full button down. I find them more versatile. Sometimes you just leave it unbuttoned and you have the matching shirt underneath and whatnot. Sometimes you're at the beach and you leave it open and you got nothing underneath, and I'm all for that, and I've become a real big fan of that. So I haven't jumped really deep into the polos. I've got a couple. I will probably buy a couple more here or there. But I like seeing that they have one sold out this quickly on a drop like this, because it means that the product line is expanding, and I think the more that happens, the more that you have things available across different styles and whatnot. Hopefully we get to the point where everything's not like an automatic, I need to buy it within 2 minutes of seeing it, because I know my pocketbook can't handle that all the time, and sometimes I'm not 100%
your pocketbook
sure yeah, and I don't know that I need it, right? The wallet.
I would hold on. I think we should talk more about that. I'm more interested. Ron, do you carry around a pocketbook with you?
It's the old school sayings. I grew up with a grandmother in the house, so I still have some of those like old
Well,
sayings that just pop out from time to time.
I imagine she had a pocketbook. I imagine your grandmother had one. I
Right?
wasn't aware that you carried one. That's sweet. That's cute. It's adorable. What
Uh,
color is it?
right? Oh man, my actual wallet is South Park themed. It's got all the characters of South Park on it. So
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
joke with my wife that that's another one of those things I need to start matching to everything. Is like if I start having a matching wallet for every fit that I have.
A
But
matching wallet for
yeah,
every fit. Dear God,
it
I
would be
don't even know.
crazy, right? And that's why she rolls her eyes at me and tells me that I'm not allowed near the bank
That would
account.
be that would be. I can't even imagine how many wallets you'd have. That would be.
Oh
Yeah,
man!
that's
Well, and
too much.
I just crossed the 300 shirt barrier for Roosevelt. So,
Whew.
um, well, we got one more drop that we can move on to that happened, and this one happened on Tuesday, and this one was a really interesting drop. This was the HQ collection. Let me switch over to that. 4 shirts that they had come out, and it's come on, go away,
Ron, what are you doing, buddy?
right?
I'm just messing
Four
with
shirts that came out in both men's and women's cuts, and these were all things that were designed and the concepts came from members of HQ. And the one that had been teased to us, a week or so before was the laser dinos. And everybody was trying to figure out what it was, where it had come from. Did you did you buy anything? Did anything catch your eye on this? Which what did you think of this drop?
So on a personal level, I absolutely love that they're giving Roosevelt's either staff members or artists the kind of freedom to do whatever they want. Like if they had a vision for a shirt, I love that they're giving them that freedom to do that. Truthfully, so that to me is the biggest best thing about this drop. That some of these artists and people in the company were able to just take an idea that they had and just make it a reality. Um, I personally speaking, the laser dinos, that's cool, but like it's not for me. Even though it's purple, I'm a big purple guy. I'm not, I don't know, I'm not a big dinosaur guy. For me, the two winners, honestly, and I like them both, was What Are the Plants? I think that's number one for me, and Swiggle Zoo. Those were the two that I really gravitated towards, and I really liked. I think What Are the Plants? That's the one for me though, which is
Water the
funny because
plant, huh?
yeah,
Nice.
which because Squiggle Zoo sounds more like a John shirt for sure. And when you zoom in and you look more into it, I like it. But What Are the Plants? That to me was a beautiful shirt, and I really like that one. And I think Dustin will be very happy with the pocket placement on that one.
No,
And I also
no doubt.
I like that it lines up and it matches up with the rest of the shirt, so that looks really nice as well. I would like to see which member of HQ did that one. A good podcast person would have that already brought up,
Let me
but
see.
that is not I. That looks like it's going to
So this
be
one was Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah, Vice President of Production Jackie. She designed that one. So that's really cool. So that to me is the winner. What did you think was the winner for this drop?
At first, I would have told you the laser dinos as they were dropping that, and I thought that was cool, and I didn't buy anything. I thought that they were all cool concepts. The one that I have come to like even more, and if I go back and get, I think is the Squiggle Zoo. At first, like when it first came out, I was like, "What is it?" Like, and I'm looking, and this was one of those ones like you really kind of had to read the description of it, and to find
Sure.
out that there are 21 hidden animal portraits in this design. And I mean, I was even sitting there on the picture, like trying to figure out, like, oh, there's an elephant, there's and to me that was kind of cool, the like kind of seek and find aspect of this shirt. So if I go back for one, I think it would be Squiggle Zoo, and I actually, they didn't do any shorts or tuxes for this grouping, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind seeing Squiggle Zoo as a tux.
As in shorts or like the whole pants?
I mean, now that they've got the whole pants, maybe you go full pants, but I would even dig just the shorts. So I thought they were fun, and like you said, I was excited that they gave other members of HQ some voice and some, just the time behind the wheel to have the fun and to release these and see what they could come up with and what they liked. So props to them for, it's one of the things that I have always respected about this company. They don't take themselves, too seriously, too big, whatever. Even as they grow, and to be able to give your workers and your people, a voice, and to do some of the things like this, I think is rather cool. So
I agree completely. But yeah, definitely a fun drop, and I hope to see more of that, where they give HQ and artists more of the freedom to do what they want to do. I'd like to see more of that and learn more about the people behind the shirts.
no, without a doubt, and I love the bios. I love the little who came up with what and why they had done it, and to be honest, like I wish that we'd get more of that on drops. Like I wish that there was always like who are the designers of these shirts, because yeah, I mean we know some of the guys, some the Ians and the Forrests, and we're friends with some of these guys, and so we know, but like a lot of them are kind of unsung heroes, and I would like to know more about those people and the things that they do, and why and how do they design the way that they do.
I absolutely agree. And Ron, I'm going to stop you right there because we actually have some breaking Roosevelt's news.
Oh man.
I appreciate Ariane texting me this and reaching out to make sure we get this on the show. A post from John T just came in. Hey all, because of the issues with the app, we need to handle Drop Zone with a sensible approach, and unfortunately, it's a lose-lose. We're pushing the drop back until the Shopify throttle issue is fully resolved. Right now, high traffic spikes to our apps will cause glitches and could be a turbulent checkout experience. Not ideal, but it has to be done. Thanks for bearing with us while we get this fixed. So Drop Zone for tomorrow is canceled.
Oh man, breaking news. I wish I needed one of those breaking news banners. I didn't have one of those prepared yet, man.
She literally texted me. She sent me the screenshot. She told me what it was, and she even put like the little alarm. So Ariane, I appreciate you for helping us out with that. Thank you.
Awesome.
But yeah, so Drop Zone is canceled tomorrow. First time breaking news. Yeah. Drop Zone is canceled. I'm doing the right thing.
That was definitely one of the things I was going to bring up before we ended. Was they did announce that there was going to be Drop Zone 79 or whatever it was going to be, and that was timing wise. It was interesting because a little while before they had started to mention that they were having issues with the app, and that if you were going to make a purchase to go to the website and not use the app. And so a lot of people in the insider community were definitely concerned with like, what does that mean for Drop Zone tomorrow? Because let's be honest, Drop Zone's already a pain in the ass as it is.
Absolutely.
And so when you know you're having app issues going into it, definitely would have complicated things even more. So thank you, Ariane, for bringing us the breaking news here.
She even put in the comments. She said she got us. So.
Nice. Well, the only other one that I had left to mention, and I didn't bring up a screen for it, is that they did a restock this week, and it was all spooky season, Halloween shirts and whatnot, and maybe the biggest of all of them was that the Creature Tiki was in that drop, in that restock, which I, for one, as soon as I saw that, it was like a Drop Zone day for me. Well, and I went on and immediately got, it's one of those ones I've been kind of having my eyes on and chasing for a while. First of all, was there anything that you had to run out and get? And second of all, what is your take on how early spooky season seems to be starting this year?
Spooky season has always been an extremely popular time in the Roosevelt's community. I think it's something that a lot of insiders thrive for. I've been in this community for a while, and so it is interesting to kind of see it get earlier and early every year. And I think part of it just has to do with, Roosevelt's traditionally only has, 2 drops a week and then a possible drop zone, but that's definitely not every week. And so, they only have a limited amount of time to get this stuff out. And when you work on this kind of structure where you don't just release things whenever you want, you got to make sure you give people ample amount of time to get it and get it in time. Gabe comes in. There's already 3 Spirit Halloween stores open by me. I hear you, Gabe. Yeah, they're starting to put those around. I think they just put one in my mall, actually.
Oh, Brian might top him, though. Brian's already got the pumpkin beer.
There's a limited amount of time to get this stuff out, and so they need time to get this stuff out. And because it's such a popular time, spooky season is way more popular than Christmas time or any other holiday. They want to capitalize as early as possible. So is it a little early? Sure. I mean, but from a business perspective, like, I get it. They got to get this stuff up and out, because they're not going to keep it on the site, year round. They want to, keep it only during that time. So I get it. I mean, do you have a problem with spooky season starting early?
Not at, I mean, Halloween is it's funny because most people know we decorate huge for Christmas. We're well known for our Christmas display, but we actually decorate for Halloween as well. Halloween and the fall, especially growing up in Western New York, always my favorite time of year. I love the crispness of the air. I love the smell of the leaves as they're falling and all that. I love horror movies. I've always been big into the spooky stuff. I kind of go back and forth on whether it's too early or not to have the pumpkin spice lattes coming out and all that already. But you're right. It's all driven by capitalism, and
Of course.
I also know that in our community, if you wait until the beginning of October to release it, and then people only then it's got to be shipped, and then people start complaining that, hey, I only had it for a week before Halloween or whatever. So
of course,
you have to lose one of those lose situations. Yeah, people are going to complain it's too early. You got people are going to complain that you waited too long. So to get it out and get it so that people can have things in hand already and be ready for the season, I'm all for it. I thank you, Brian. I see you over here agreeing with me that the fall is the best out there in Western New York, representing over there in Buffalo. So, yeah, I if it hadn't been for Creature Tiki, I probably wouldn't have jumped on anything so quickly. With that, I also say that as somebody who, when I had surgery, my wife, we've got a Buc-ee's that's about an hour and 15 minutes north of us, and everybody started posting that Buc-ee's had started to have their Halloween offerings in store. And while I was kind of down and out and medicated, my wife disappeared. And when she came back, you can see it up here over my shoulder. She had gotten me Doom and Bloom.
That's awesome.
Also got me the Disney skeleton dance because they are shirts that she knew that I had wanted and that I do love Halloween. So she was gone. I was unconscious. I wake up and she comes back with this bag from Buc-ee's, and of course, it's beaver nuggets and it's fudge and it's 2 Roosevelt shirts.
That's a good wife right there.
Right?
That's definitely a good wife for sure.
So I definitely lucked out on that one, and and my kids are already excited about spooky season. My middle son Xander loves to dress up, loves to wear costumes. It's a regular occurrence where you'll see him wearing his Deadpool chimichanga Kunu with his Deadpool mask, or he'll be wearing a Batman mask with his Batman Kunu. So they're excited to start seeing it, and school did start this week for our kids, and it is just kind of that time of year. So good on them, and I props to them for not just releasing some stuff that was like leftovers from last year. Like, they know everybody loves, it's well thought in our community that Creature Tiki might be one of the best tikis and most sought after tikis out there. So to bring that back in that drop, I thought was pretty cool that they came out with something that's one of those whales that now everybody had a good chance to get a hold of.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely great, and I love that they're doing this. I will bring up just one short Halloween story real quick. Halloween, not a huge thing in my household, but I went trick or treating just like a normal kid, and so I had a small group of friends, and we decided one year that we were going to go trick or treating on October 31st and November 1st. We went again. We got dressed up again the next day. Went around to every house because every house had leftover candy, and we claimed that we were sick on Halloween. So that
nice.
we were doing our trick or treating that day. I mean, these people, they see so many people in costume, they don't know who came and whatnot. And so we went ahead. We got another round. I mean, it was pretty pretty
awesome.
easy. You didn't have to deal with lines and deal with kids and deal with nothing.
We're one of those houses. We get a lot of kids. We're a full size candy bar house. So
oh shit,
so the kids
wow.
want to come to our house. We go stock up at Sam's Club, and we
your house is on a list somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we treat November 1st kind of like Black Friday for us. Like we take off, Megan and I take off work to go to the Spirit Halloween stores and all the various stores that have Halloween stuff so we can buy stuff on discount for next year. You know,
Oh, that's
sometimes
awesome.
sometimes it's costumes for the kids for next year or whatever. Most of the time it's decorations and things like that. So we have new stuff in rotation all the time. So we're out there, at 7, 8 a.m. standing outside of Spirit Halloween, waiting for we're like line dropping Spirit Halloween so we can
Wow.
get in there and get the animatronics for 50 and 75% off and whatnot. So we make
That's
a big
awesome.
deal of it every year. It's almost bigger than the holiday for us. Is November 1st. Like her and I drop the kids off at school and go shopping. So
Well, that's absolutely awesome, man. I love that.
best time to
Listen,
buy Halloween stuff. Yes, Brian.
day after, there you go, man.
Without a doubt.
You know it.
So that's really kind of all that I had on the docket for today, buddy. And I know we're just over an hour. We're at almost an hour 15. It has been a pleasure hanging out with you, to chat with you, and again an honor to host with you. Um, hopefully we get Dustin back. We'll see what happens for next week. I mean, it's Amsterdam. He could be tied up in a hospital somewhere.
It can be tied up somewhere.
Yeah, it is spooky season. But thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out and having me join, man. I had a pleasure doing this with you.
Yeah, man. Ron, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming and filling in for Dustin. Really appreciate you doing that, man. And hopefully we get Dustin back at some point. I'm sure he's having a good time though. But really appreciate you coming in and filling in, and it was a great show, man. Always appreciate talking to you and seeing you, my friend.
Well, anytime you guys need me, I'm here for the hot tag in, and I'll give you the best that I got, and definitely appreciate Dustin and all he does, and hope he's having a good time, and hopefully hope he comes back with some content for Fandom. Always good stuff over there on our sister network on the Fandom Traveler, and I think we got to work on it, and hopefully we get better than Dustin and you, and there's one way that we end this, right?
You know it, man.
Where, buddy? Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.